Hey guys, now that you guys have been able to see the different muscles and where they're located, here I wrote down each of the muscles that we learned and where they're located, as well as what they do. So, one thing that many people don't realize is they say things in the wrong way, and I'm going to explain what that means. The deltoid. So, that's the shoulder muscle right here, right? The deltoid muscle allows your shoulder, your arm at your shoulder, to flex, extend, abduct, and rotate, all right here. We are going to learn what these words mean: flex, extend, abduct, rotate. And like I said earlier, sometimes we use these words in the wrong way, and we are going to learn later on what that means. There are multiple muscles that work together to allow the same movement. So you might see some of these muscles here allowing the same movement, and that's not a typo, they just help do the same thing. Also remember, muscles don't bend or rotate and twist, right? They contract, which means tighten up, get smaller, and they relax, which means they loosen up like so. And that's important to remember. So the deltoid allows that. The pectoralis major, your chest, when it contracts, and we have control over contracting our muscles and relaxing our muscles, we don't think about it because it just kind of comes naturally, but me bringing my arm up like this and bringing it down and moving my neck side to side, I have control over that. So your pectoralis major, your chest muscle, allows you to flex and rotate your arm at the shoulder. Now the word flex, and we'll go through it again later, especially when we get back into school, but that means bend. When you're talking about your shoulder though, you can't really see anything bending. So the word bending or flex, when we're talking about our shoulder area, which is a joint, that just means you're lifting your arm up like this. Okay? So up at your shoulder means flex. Your biceps brachii also allows you to flex your arm at your shoulder, up, right? But it also allows you to flex or bend your arm at your elbow, like that. And when we're talking about the elbow, it's a lot easier to see that flex means bend because you can actually see something bending. So it's harder to see that with the shoulder, other parts of the body. But just keep that in mind. And the more we go over this and the more you practice this and study this, the easier it's going to be, especially when we get back into school. Latissimus dorsi, your back muscle. It allows you to adduct, rotate, and extend all at your shoulders. So adduct, if you've ever learned this word before, it means bringing towards your body. So if I have my arm out like this, and I'm going to move myself over so you can see, adduct means I'm taking my arm from my shoulder and I'm moving it towards my body. And the opposite of that, which we'll get to in a little bit, means abduct, A-B-D, out, away from my body. Add, into my body, ab, away from my body. And the way I always remember that was adduct, A-D-D, you're adding something to the center of your body. So that's how I remembered it. The trapezius, that large neck muscle, allows you to shrug your shoulders up and down. Fancy word is elevate and depress. Rotate and adduct at your shoulder, so you're able to rotate, and then adduct, bringing it in, and allows you to move your neck and extend your neck back. Okay. Triceps brachii, remember, it's the muscle in the back of the upper arm, and it allows you to extend your arm at your shoulder and at your elbow. And if you saw the last video when I talked about the different muscles, I talked about how the bicep and the tricep were kind of opposite. So if the bicep lets you flex your arm at your shoulder and your elbow, remember I said up and in, that's what the biceps let you do. The triceps, when they contract, then you're able to straighten your arm or extend your arm at your elbow, and also it's just the opposite. You're bringing your arm back down, or you can bring your arm back. So again, flex means bringing your arm up in this direction, and extend means that you're able to bring your arm back into that direction, down and back. So I hope that makes sense. It's kind of hard to do on a video screen, which is why when we get back into school, we're definitely going to go way more in depth with this. Your quadriceps, which are all the muscles in the front of your thigh, allow you to flex your leg at your hip and extend your leg at your knee. And this can get confusing because it's like flex and extend, and it can do both, and then one's at your hip and one's at your knee, right? So I'm going to kind of just show you what this looks like. So it allows you to flex your leg at your hip. So you're bringing your leg up, just like we talked about with the shoulder. Flex, bringing your leg up. And it allows you to extend the leg at the knee. So the knee straight. Okay? Again, can be very confusing, so don't think too much into it, because we will go over this over and over. And hamstrings, quadriceps are in the front, hamstrings are in the back of the thigh, and they work as opposites. So it's the opposite of the quadriceps. Extend the leg at the hip, flex the leg at the knee. Abductors and adductors. So it's funny because these words of the muscles are actually the same words as what they allow your body to do. So when they contract, and we'll talk about the abductors first, right here, the abductors allow you to abduct or move your leg out away from your body at your hip. And then the adductors allow you to adduct or bring your leg back into the center of your body from your hip. Gluteus maximus actually allows you to extend, rotate, abduct at your hip. There's a lot of things that the gluteus maximus muscle, when it contracts, allows you to do. Gastrocnemius, which is one of the muscles of your calf, allows you to flex your leg at your knee and also move your foot, flex your foot. And the soleus also helps you, when it contracts, flex your foot. And then the last two, the rectus abdominis. You guys can probably guess what that does, right? A lot of the crunches. So when you're doing that movement, that muscle, when it contracts, it allows you to do, and you're doing it over and over and over and over and over again, or you're adding weight to it, now you're working out that muscle. And the rectus abdominis allows compression, that little crunch at your abdomen, and it also, when it contracts, allows flexion at your abdomen. The obliques, very similar, allows that side to side movement laterally.